Okay, so people wanted me to go back in the classroom, but I didn't want to teach the subject I've been teaching because I really didn't feel prepared for it. You know how you do something and you're okay at it, you might even be good at it, but it's not what you really want to do. So I didn't want to do that. So I was teaching online. I didn't want to go back into the classroom. I didn't feel like I had like the best classroom management skills. And let me just be real clear, teaching is not for the weak. Like if you can think that you know how to teach, but you don't. um, as evidenced by people wanting to send their kids back to school very quickly. Um, so I didn't want to teach, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so one of the first things that came up for me was I wanted to be a writer. And I, I manifested um, not just this, I was in Barnes and Noble and I saw this book and I was like, okay, when I get my next paycheck, I'm gonna come back for this book. The next day, not the next paycheck, the next day, a former student of mine sent me a package through another person, and in the package was like four books, like spiritual books for me to read, and $50. So it was just enough to go get the book that I wanted, and I was like, I'm supposed to be a writer. I'm supposed to be a writer. So I go, I get the book. The first query letter I send out, I actually get accepted. And I go to an event that week, or I had gone to an event, and that was the query letter that I sent. And they were like, yes, we want you to write it. And I became a published author. And that first article, I was like so excited about just because it wasn't teaching, it was just something new. And I wanted to share information, that I had acquired and be creative. And that was fun. That was fun for me. But that wasn't where it stopped, right? Like you see, like I started with writing and then it took changed into action, but that was just one thing that I felt like that was just the beginning, and that's like one of the examples that I talk about and how the journaling prompted me into doing things. And I always say like the journaling doesn't, like we write on paper, but it doesn't live there. It has to live within us, and we have to actually go do the things that we claim we want to do or the way we want to feel. Like we have agency, and it's up to. Um, One of the things that I got through the journaling was the ability to figure out, okay, what is it that I want to do? What's holding me back from what I'm doing, want to do? Like, I didn't know how to be a freelance writer. I didn't know even what resources I needed. I didn't know anything about a query letter. So all of those things came up. And then another thing that came up is doubting my writing ability because I had, written stories in school or whatever and done different little writing things, but never had like won anything. Like you hear people talking about someone, I am like the your junior champion, poetry champion, stuff like that. Or my short story won this award. I didn't have any of that. And I didn't know anyone still, well, no, I do, but I didn't know anyone at the time who like wrote professionally or anything like that. So, like, I wanted to call myself a writer. So I had to write, no matter if I felt like it was good or not. And